I want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. We'll be coming back to you. Just watch the clock, count down. You got time to go and get you a cup of water, soda, or coffee. Won't hold you long, but we're going to be diving into talking about how the unfairness has been distributed by law enforcement as it relates to certain businesses who sell alcohol in the city of Loudoun. So come back and join us, please. I want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. We will not be with you long, I hope, but we do have a lot to unpack. And so I'm pretty sure that some of you may be into the football game or what have you, but you can watch this broadcast at your convenience at a later time, either tonight or tomorrow or going forward up in the week. But anyway, um, there has been various individuals reaching out to me, still asking me about where are we with um, the MCADOO incident as it relates to the Williams sisters. And I explained to them, unfortunately, it seems though the um, law enforcement as well as the council and Mayor Sanders, um, they're not willing to move to do anything to bring charges against Miss Barbara Brothers, who is a councilwoman for the city of Blytheville. And so they wanted me to run this once more before I close down for the year, my finality. I got one more show to do, one more Sunday left, and I'll be taking me a big holiday break. And I will see you back in February or either March. Okay. Um, but we're going to be talking about, let me find my board up here. Let me go up here. I don't even have my banner on, do I? Let me turn some stuff on right quick. Give me a minute. Let me turn some stuff on. Turn my banner on right quick. You can read my banner as it scrolls down there. That's the topic that we will be talking about, which simply is, should MCADOO bar be investigated for ABC as alcohol beverage control violations? That's what we're talking about. And I will show you some of those violations as we move through this broadcast, okay? But basically what we is going to be talking about is, the disparity and how law enforcement, the tax collector, uh, how they move throughout the city, seem though they're targeting certain businesses to try to either shut them down, take their license, business license, or what have you. And so those are some things that we're going to be talking about today. Now, many of you know that I have been doing a little research as it relates to alcohol for those businesses who sell alcohol. I didn't know anything about it. I still don't know much about it, but I'm going to show you some rules from the Arkansas Beverage Control in terms of rules that each owner or operator of a certain establishment, rules that they must abide by uh, if they're in the business of selling any type of beverage, alcohol, beer, or what have you. But before we get to that, I want you all to allow me just a couple of minutes to show you just two little quick videos. It's no more than 2 minutes. These videos happen to do with many of you have been watching the court cases that's been going on. What is it? Rittenhouse trial. That's the gentleman who killed 2 people and injured 1. We're going to show you both of these cases has somewhat of a racial tone to it, and I'll let you be the judge. And the other case has to do with Ahmaud Arbery. Remember, he was chased down like a dog, shot and killed by 3 vigilantes. Took the law into their own hand, deputized themselves, calling themselves making a citizen arrest. We're going to show you the racial tone in both of these 2 cases. First, we're going to start with what happened with Al Sharpton in the Ahmaud Arbery case. We're going to let you just listen to it. It's no more than about 2-3 minutes, and you be the judge. Okay, so let's go ahead and play that now. Let's try to pull it up. Okay. It may have a commercial to it, and so just excuse the commercials.
Not only the folk in Brunswick and Georgia are watching and are concerned, we are here from all over the country. Because not only are those 3 on trial, but Georgia law is on trial. Have you grown from the days of Lester Maddox? Have you grown from the days of lynching?
Yes.
Have you grown from the days where people can, because of who they are and what they are, can be tried by a posse?
Mama.
And then they turn around and say they're defending themselves. Talking about he was afraid for his little 5-year-old. What about the 5-year-olds that are afraid now to jog in Brunswick? What about the young black kids that are now saying that if they kill me, they're going to stack the jury and walk? That's why we're in Brunswick.
Yesterday, the Reverend Al Sharpton held a press conference and then a prayer vigil outside the courtroom where 3 men are on trial for killing Ahmaud Arbery. Mr. Arbery's family invited Reverend Sharpton to lead that prayer vigil, and then they invited him to sit in court to watch the proceedings, which are open to the public. Today, remarkably, one of the defense attorneys for one of the defendants took issue with Reverend Sharpton's presence in the courtroom, and he did so in a shocking way.
Wireless family plan to save you
I
money,
figured that
but
commercial
then
was
you
going to
have
jump
deal
in.
with
Just give us a
family.
minute.
So I got
Shouldn't
Visible.
last
Get
but about
unlimited
maybe
data for as low as
10
$25
seconds.
a month.
And
No family needed.
Is the turkey done yet?
you can listen to the racial tone that's coming
Visible.
from the attorney.
Switch and get up to $200.
Here we go.
And
the idea that we're going to be serially bringing these people in to sit with the victim's family one after another, obviously there's only so many pastors they can have. And if their pastor's Al Sharpton right now, that's fine, but then that's it. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here, or other Jesse Jackson, whoever was in here earlier this week, sitting with the victim's family, trying to influence the jury in this case.
We don't want any more black pastors coming in here. You see other people in the courtroom react when he says that. It does not seem to have been a slip of the tongue. He carries on. He's making this deliberate argument.
So that was that in the Arbery case where you saw the attorney making racial comments in terms of no black pastors, don't want any black pastors in the courtroom. Pretty much showed his true colors. And we got one other video to show you in the Rittenhouse case, where this judge also should be called into question for some comments that he made. I'm not going to show you all of them. Now, there's one comment he made in regards to waiting on food, which supposedly been prepared by Asians. And so I think that was not inappropriate comments made from the judge. He also had a witness for the defense, had the whole courtroom to give this defendant a round of applause, which was very inappropriate. That was the defendant. That was the witness for the defendant in the Rittenhouse case. On the Rittenhouse side, that was their defendant. And so that right there could have been what you call playing favoritism toward the witnesses of the prosecution versus witnesses of the defense. But anyway, we want to run up here and show you this here. He claimed he didn't know anything about the Proud Boys until this case. We'll let you be the judge. Let's go ahead and run this last video, okay? Let's go up here and pull that up right now. We'll run this last video, and then we'll go ahead and dive into the show, okay? All right. Hopefully we don't have any commercials.
The actions that I had talked about.
American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave them
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you,
Rittenhouse talking about wanting to shoot people. They also want to show him posing with alleged members of the hate group Proud Boys at a bar in Mount Pleasant.
Violence.
The judge told the courtroom he had never heard of the Proud Boys until this case.
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what.
For life, and he encounters some people who embrace him, and he reacts by smiling with them and taking some pictures. For me,
Break out Kyle! 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 Break out Kyle!
Now, that was the case in the Rittenhouse trial, excuse me. That was a judge who's supposed to be presiding over a case, a murder case. Two persons was shot dead by this individual. And there it is, the judge has his cell phone on with a Donald Trump rally ringtone. His telephone is on. It just goes to show, where his head is at in this case. He claimed he didn't know anything about the Proud Boys until this case. Now, all of this evidence that the prosecution tried to get in, I'm gonna have to go back and read, but I'm thinking for the most part, the judge didn't allow it to come in. He indicated in so many words, it's not Rittenhouse fault because, members of the Proud Boys, I guess, saw him to be somewhat, a hero, if you will, killing two people and injuring one. So both of those cases have some racial tone in it, and hopefully on appeal, because I'm believing that in the Rittenhouse case, I don't see this guy being convicted. At the least, I think it may be a hung jury, or they may acquit him. But I'm thinking it'd be more of a hung jury. Now, as far as the Atterbury case, I'm thinking that case, I don't know, it could be a toss-up. The judge was very mean-spirited to the prosecutor and sort of gave the defense attorneys a pat on the back for committing some of the same things that the judge pretty much slammed the prosecution for. And so both of those cases, I tell you, you got to put a question mark beside these judges. I think these judges need to be investigated, both of them, in both cases. But I just want to show you that. But we're going to go ahead and get into what is the topic today, which is, should the MCADOO bar be held in violations for some of the violations that they have committed? And I just want to just let you know, I did not even get all the violations, for Miss Brothers. I think I only went back for, as I want to say, from June 21 to present date. That's really all I did. I didn't go any further back than 21. And I'm wondering what would have happened had I went back, past 21. Well, anyway, I just want to first of all, just let you all know that there is a law. There's a statute, of course. I want to put it up for you let me get this out of the way first. Let me remove that. But there is a statute. I want to put it up here for you. That statute right there. That statute 3-3-218. That's the Arkansas State statute. It is titled as duty of care of privilege license holder. We're talking about alcohol, okay? This particular statute is known to be the Good Neighbors Act, okay? Good Neighbors Act simply is what it say. You must show yourself if you're operating a business, in the city, and whatever other businesses is attached to you. In this particular case, we have Hayes Supermarket that is somewhat adjacent to MCADOO Bar. We know that people patronize both businesses, okay? And it would be absolutely sad to have someone walking from Hayes Supermarket to their vehicle to where shots are fired. And Lord forbid, if those shoppers who's patronizing the Hayes businesses, if anyone should be hit and injured, or worst case scenario, shot and killed. Mind you, these are people of all ages that shop at Hayes Supermarket. That they be young people, that they be elderly people. In some cases, there are children that are with these adults, that it be their mom, that it be some relatives or some friend. So MCADOO Bar have a duty to take all proper steps to make sure that its business, its patrons, and those who patronize their business, to make sure that they are being somewhat a good neighbor to the businesses that in their surroundings. Okay. Now, again, that's the duty of care of privileged license holder. We're talking about alcohol, excuse me. You can write that statute down. I will come back and show it again later before we conclude this broadcast. But that is the statute. Read up on that statute, okay? But in short, let me just tell you what this statute say in short, okay? In short, this is what this statute say. It say any disorderly conduct or a breach of the peace by patrons or employees. In this particular case, let me pause for a minute. The owner of McAdoo bar, she was involved in a fight. Okay, you hear what that just said? It said patrons or employees, which she is the owner. It say on the permitted premises, such as fights, brawls, disturbances, which result in bodily injury to any person on the premises. Now, if you go ahead and read these laws, uh, you will see that these laws, it simply states, let me turn this down. These laws simply run you through all the do's and don'ts of a license holder. Okay, it runs you through all the rules. So that simply is what that is saying. Okay. Now, also, Blava also have what is called a noise nuisance abatement ordinance. This ordinance was put in place, I want to say about 2 years ago. It's a non-functioning board. Last time I spoke to Mayor Sanders was back in June 21 of this year. You know, trying to find out where are we on the board. Do we have all the people in place? Some people quit on the board. Others who are on the board, their term already done expired. So we have a non-functioning board as I speak now. Okay, so there is no one to govern these businesses throughout the city who may be non-compliant as it relates to this ordinance, the noise nuisance abatement ordinance. Excuse me. So that's where we're at on that. Okay, and so we want to really get into the discussion, which is, I mean, why aren't the disturbances at McAdoo considered a threat to public health and safety? And that is the question that we're asking. Why aren't the disturbances at McAdoo considered a threat to public health and safety? Now, so many times you all have heard me state that I have called upon the mayor to remove Miss Barbara McAdoo, Councilwoman McAdoo, brothers, excuse me, from the Police and Fire Committee chair. Why do I say that? It's because Councilwoman Brothers continue to use the police department not just to sick the police department on her competitors, but at the same time, she is not held, to account for some of the violations that she have committed as it relates to the Good Neighbors Act, the duty of care. You know, the fights, the disturbances, and all. There has been no fines, to my knowledge, assessed against Councilwoman Brothers. And these are violations that not just the Blythe noise nuisance abatement ordinance, but these are violations against ABC, the State Alcohol Beverage Control Office. And I spoke with the ABC office. I asked them, did they have any type of complaints against this establishment? You know, they couldn't tell me right off whether or not they had any. But I asked them, well, how would, cases like this come to their office? And the director indicated that it would start with a complaint. So hopefully, I don't know if any of you out there have filed a complaint against this business, that you might have been a victim. Okay. If you have been a victim, then you definitely need to file a complaint. In filing a complaint, ABC will come in and they will conduct an investigation. You know, um, there's complaints that there has been drinking from some of the employees there at the establishment. I had the lady on my show, one of the Williams sisters. She stated that Miss Brothers had consumed that alcohol, according to Miss Williams. Okay, and so that is a no-no. Employees and owner of an establishment that sells liquor, they cannot drink on the job. That is a violation. I don't go to the business, never step foot in it a day in my life. But those of you who patronize that building, only you can give live testimony as to if you ever saw employees or the owner drinking while on the job. If so, then you might want to file a complaint. All right. And so those are some of the things. I'm going to show you some of the violations in a minute. I'm just trying to set the stage of the show in terms of where we're going. Okay. And so again, that's the question there. It's a why aren't the disturbances at MCADOO considered a threat to public health and safety? Remember what I told you about that law right here? It's called the duty of care privilege license to for those who have a privileged license. Um, the Good Neighbors Act. You have to be a good neighbor to those in your surroundings. If not, that is considered a violation, which you can be penalized. It can go anywhere from $200 clean up to $10,000, depending on your history, if you will, or how bad these violations have occurred. Okay, so um, I'm just curious, why haven't McAdoo bar? Why haven't it been penalized ever? We know that there have been disturbances around there. That's why there need to be a split between police department and Barbara McAdoo. She do not need to sit on this police and fire committee as chair. She used this police department as her attack dog. And she also used the tax collector office as well as the chief. They all in collusion together. And let me just, before I show you some of the violations of Mrs. Brothers, let me just say this here. I want to first of all give my sympathies, condolences to the lives that has been lost recently on those that was injured. The police department was called to a certain business on the west side of town. Let me pull this up. On the west side of town. And I want to read something to you all. And I want you all to tell me if this make any sense. Okay? If this make any sense to you. This was a fatal shooting. Okay? This was a fatal shooting over on the west side. Okay? You all know the business, where it occurred at West Side Banquet Hall. This is the business that I guess is on Miss Barbara, Councilwoman Brothers list now, her and Chief Thompson. I'm pretty sure they'll be getting the tax collector involved as well. You know, those three musketeers, as I call them, you know, they all get together and they go after these businesses that they have targeted. But anyway, let me just read you this here. I'll go quickly. Bravo Police Chief Thompson reported that when officers responded to the call, there was gambling. Stop. Now, mind you, the police is responding to shooting. Okay. Now, I imagine that when the police officers get there, and I want to thank the lady that actually brought this to my attention. I did read it, but I sort of just, I kind of went over it. I was busy, but she brought it to my attention, and it made me think. I remember reading that, and so I went back and I looked at it, and she's right. The police officers is responding to a shooting. Okay, now when they get there at some time or another, I imagine that they would be, first of all, trying to give some type of first aid to the person who has been shot. I wouldn't think that their top priority would be to go through the building to find who's been gambling. They say that there was gambling, alcohol, and marijuana use. That is an insult on every black person intelligent that was at that business. There has been a shooting. At some point between the police arriving, that there's a possibility that the person that was shot might have been deceased. Do you absolutely believe that the public is supposed to believe that they know the police is coming and they are inside the establishment gambling, drinking alcohol, and using marijuana? That is stupid. Only a fool would do something like that. Let me read that again. This is Ross Thompson. This is what he's saying. He reported that when officers responded to the call, there was gambling, alcohol, and marijuana use. As always, get this here. Remember I tell you about them three musketeers? Thompson, tax collector, and councilwoman brothers. Here come the first one of that trial, the city collector. As always, it's Thompson talking. The police report is to always forward to the city collector's office. Stop. He say always to forward. When you get a disturbance like this here, to forward it to the tax collector office. I wonder how many of those reports went to the tax collector at the disturbances of Councilwoman Brothers. I'm going to ask that. I hadn't asked that yet, I don't think. I asked of Chief, but he didn't have anything for me, no more than for 21. But I wonder how many complaints have the tax collector got against Councilwoman Brothers at her establishment. And what did she do, if anything, if she did get complaints? Okay, so send it to the tax collector. As in previous cases concerning possible illegal alcohol consumption, the city collector does have the authority to revoke a business license. They talked about that. To my understanding, they took that back. The tax collector office do not have any authority to revoke anyone's license. All she is to do is to make a report. It's the city council who take a vote to revoke anyone's license. Tax collector, look up the statutes. That is not her duty. She has no power. No power. She might can recommend, she might can make a report, but she has no power to revoke anybody's license. As a matter of fact, they're supposed to be changing that ordinance. Okay. However, normally the business owner is allowed the opportunity to speak to the council. Yeah, they speak to the council. The council owns somebody got the power to do it. And the two parties come to a decision. Now, let's get this here. That was two. We had Chief speaking. We had them bringing the tax collector in. Now we got Councilwoman Brothers. She wants to always put her 2 cents in. She breaking all the rules, good at pointing the finger at everybody else, but she can't keep the very rules that she want to try to complain about. But this Councilwoman Brothers, Councilwoman Barbara Brothers, MCADOO Brothers, voiced her concerns with alcohol consumption in businesses not permitted by the Arkansas Beverage Control. She went on to reference the council decisions on similar alcohol cases in the past. If something happened like this in an area that was governed by ABC, they would come in, investigate, shut you down for so many days, and either fine you or take your license. She know that much. She know the law. Yes, she know it. Question is, why haven't they came to her business? Nobody made the report to the tax collector's office, or nobody reached out and called ABC. Okay, like I say, it's selective policing. They are being biased, excuse me, when it comes to targeting certain businesses. In this particular case, every business they have targeted, to my knowledge, have been black and brown people. Okay. She added, where we at? She said, where we at? There are repercussions for things like this here. I agree. I don't want to close a business, but everybody just need to be legal. Oh boy. Hypocrite. That way, we're not having to deal with all this, brothers say. She added, we as a council are not even encouraging proper business conduct. Now she's jumping on the council. I encourage everyone to open a business. I want people to, but you need to open them and follow the law. Hypocrite again. She's not following the law. Here we got a man who lost his life with no accountability. There will be accountability. To my knowledge, the police and the courts are involved. It has to run its case. You just don't, people are entitled to a trial. To more clearly move forward with the cases as these, the committee is working alongside Attorney Chris Brown on the city alcohol ordinance. That's pretty much all, we got right there. But now, let's go ahead and move to some of the things to where Miss Barbara Brothers, Councilwoman Brothers, let's look at some of her violations. Should we do that right now? Let's go ahead and look at some of her violations. Let's do that. Let's pull this up right now. Okay. Now, this is the very first one that I was telling you all about. This is that law. Let me go ahead and find it on my page. Because a lot of times I can't read that little fine. Really, if you all would turn your phone landscape, and I'm pretty sure that you will be able to. I might can read it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that you all will be able to read it as well. But anyway, let me try to read it on my phone along with you all. Okay. Now, this is what is called failure to be a good neighbor. Okay. I'm not gonna read all that. Basically, like I say, all that's saying is that you must be held to a high duty of care. Let me find that for you. Let me go up here. Let me find that for you right here. You see where I'm just going to just show you where I'm reading that right now. Right there. That's where I'm reading. I'm going to take that off in a minute. But that's where I'm reading right there. It's saying that any operator or owner, okay, who's in the business of selling alcohol, you must be held at a high duty of care. Okay. That's what that's saying. You can just start reading with me there. And will operate their businesses where beverages are sold or dispensed in a manner which is in the public interest and does not endanger. That's where I'm at right there. You see what that say? And does not endanger the public, right here, the public health, welfare, and safety. And this last little line right here, and we're going to stop, where it say failure to maintain this duty of care shall be a violation of the act and shall constitute grounds for the application of the full range of administrative sanctions and penalties against the subject permit. Okay. Now I'm not going to read you all that. Now these are some of the violations I believe that they also had in here. They also had to where you can't sell to minors. That was one of the things that was in there. You can't. Let me see. Let me go back. It also mentioned something about weapons, I believe. And I want to show you. We're going to talk about that because there was a weapon and gunshots, at the establishment there, and there were weapons. Okay. But anyway, illegal drugs, storing. Having a little problem trying to find it now. But I want you all to download this these rules as well. I give you the page. But actually, what it's saying is that some of these rules, simply what they're saying is that they cannot sell to minors. You have to be a certain age to even work inside the establishment selling alcohol. You also have to not sell to someone who to have an alcoholic problem. Someone who might have had enough, they're sitting there drinking at the establishment, at the business. And if you've been in this business long enough, when someone is getting a little tipsy, it's time to cut the serving this individual any more drinks. Okay. And so why do I say that? Is because in certain cases like that, the owner can be held to some kind of liability. If that person somewhat drive home and kill somebody, kill himself, it can be traced back to the establishment, left the establishment drunk. There have been cases to where if there's any civil lawsuits to be filed, that yes, you can name the owner operator who sold you the liquor. Okay. There are cases like that. It just had one over in Jonesboro, matter of fact. But anyway, let's go to what was I supposed to be showing? Okay, where is that? Oh, I know what I was supposed to have been showing. Let me go and find it. I was supposed to have been showing you the where is it though? I'm supposed to have been showing you the violations of Mrs. Brothers. So let's go ahead and oops, I don't want that. That's not what I want. Let's go ahead and pull that up right now, okay? And then we'll get out of here. Okay, let's pull that up right now and then we'll get out of here. Okay. Now, let me try to find that. I got it over here somewhere. And I will find it, trust me. Okay, we almost there. Almost there. Okay. I think this may be it here. I'm hoping. Okay, I think this is it here. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. Let me go ahead and pull this up right now. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and zoom it out a little bit, and then now we finna go in here and show you these violations. These are just the ones that I pulled up for. I pulled up for this year, from June to the present date. Okay, these are no other dates. Well, I'm sure there are other violations. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull that up right now. Okay, where are we? Binders. Okay, good. I think this is it here. Okay, I think we where we need to be. Now, let me see. This is August. I want to try to go to the very first one. Let's see. Okay, this is the report of the violations of the disturbances that occurred at Miss Barbara McAdoo. Okay. I don't think these things are in order, so we're just going to just start from the top and go down, okay? That's what we'll do. We'll start from the top and we'll go down. That's what we'll do. Okay, let's go to the first page. Okay, here we go. We're at the first page now. Okay, now this is August the 8th, okay? You can turn your cell phone landscape where you can see it better. If I can try to go up a little bit more for zooming it out, I will. But if I do, we're not going to be able to read the whole paragraph, okay? Without me moving it from side to side. Okay, now, if you look to your right, okay, you see that date over here? I don't know if you can see me where I got my cursor or whatever. This date over here is August the 8th, 21, okay? This is when this occurred, this incident here, okay? That's just the officer who reported or whatever. This is considered to be, I guess they wrote it a theft of property firearm. They wrote that in report when they went there. And like I say, that was on the 8th, August the 8th, 21. Okay. Now this is the report right here. Let me see if I can zoom that up one more time where you all can see it. And I just probably just go side to side. Okay. That's what I do where you all can see it. It say on August the 8th, 2021, I, Officer Dunham, was on routine patrol near McAdoo on East Main when I observed that a vehicle in the parking lot with the front passenger window broken. Okay. Upon investigation, now this is this law also stated that, you know, those on your premises, that they be inside or outside, the owner still has some sense of liability to make sure that there is no disturbances on his or her property, inside or outside. Okay. It say upon investigation, I observed the window broken and was using a large piece of broken concrete that was thrown into the car. I observed both the glove box and the center console to be open and appeared to be gone through. I ran the tag, that's a tag number, which returned to Aaron Maynard. Contact was made with Maynard, who later arrived, I guess, at the scene. I walked to the area and located a camera at Hayes that faces west, the opposite direction where the vehicle was located. Okay. Now, right here, talking about a firearm. Once Maynard arrived at the scene, I asked her if any items were missing. After an inventory of the vehicle, she told me that her firearm, a Glock 42, blah, 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 was missing. She had a firearm that was missing, along with 3 packs of cigarettes. Maynard stated she left McAdoo's around 12:15. We need to watch that time. I don't know what time they close. Is it 12? Is it 1? Or what time is it that they're supposed to be closed in city limits? She left around 12:15. Maynard told me that she received a ride home due to being intoxicated. She intoxicated. Stated that before she left, she removed a laptop from the vehicle, but forgot the firearm was inside the vehicle. The firearm will be entered in the report, which she did enter that. Okay. Now that was that. That's one incident. Now that's August the 8th. Okay. There was a disturbance there. Somebody threw a brick there and bust a window out, you know, and so that was one disturbance there on the parking lot. Okay. Now let's go and zoom this out for a minute and see if we can bring up the next report. Okay. Now this right here, mind you, this is what 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about a week, almost a week apart. There's another incident. Same month, August. You see this right here? Right there. Excuse me. Right here, the same month. Where I got it highlighted there. 8/14/21. A week later. Okay? A week later. Okay, let's see what this is about. This is a battery 3rd degree. This is a fight at her business. Okay? This is a fight. It say that what is that? Look like Patrolman Lyles or whatever, Lady Lyles, whatever, was dispatched. Officer was dispatched at her business, okay, for disturbance. Remember we said about disturbance, brawls, fights, and all that? There you go. That's a violation right there. It said, on my arrival, Officer Wilson was speaking to a white male, later identified as Zachary Lofton. I made contact with the victim, Ricky Bacon, as well as some other witnesses, okay? Anyway, I'm going to zoom this out where y'all can see it. Hope you all can see that. It say Bacon was bleeding, okay? He was bleeding from the nose and the mouth. When I asked him what happened, he stated Lofton, who is his employee, punched him in the face while he was trying to get in the vehicle. I observed Lofton to be staggering and falling while Officer Wilson was speaking to him. Lofton, these guys who fill out the report, these police officers, you know, they get bad sentence structure and grammar and all, you know. In this particular point, he couldn't spell. What he meant to say right here, that word right there, he meant to say speak. Okay, so misspelled that word. But Lofton speech was slur. Okay, and he had bloodshot and watery eyes. I took Lofton into custody and placed him in the back of Officer Wilson, a patrol car. I then had Bacon complete a witness statement, which would be scanned in this report. While completing the statement, Bacon informed me that some of his fillings in his teeth had been knocked out. He also informed me that he had fired Lofton right before he hit him. Myself and other officers transferred Lofton to Officer Penny patrol car. Okay. Officer Penny patrol car. Where's I'm at? It said vehicle. What it said. It said Lofton was then transported to Mississippi County Sheriff Office and charged with public intoxication and battery in the 3rd degree. Now, mind you, these gentlemen had been inside drinking. Remember what we said about the law? It indicated that you know, when you see a person done had too much, you stop serving them. And they said even if they show up drunk, you know, you got to be a pretty good judge of one's character, especially when you're in the business of selling alcohol. You should know, because that's your business. So whether he showed up drunk or whether he got drunk while he was there, there is liability and responsibility as well as accountability on part of the owner. All right. So let's go back and read a little bit more. Okay. Now that was that. Okay. Now remember, that was a week apart. Okay. That was a week apart. Now we're getting into, I want to say we may be getting into September. Okay. Now we still in, there's 3 incidents, you all. 3 incidents in 1 month. You hear me? 3 incidents in 1 month. And Councilwoman got the gall, the audacity to talk about everybody need to be legal. And there she is breaking the laws. 3 calls to her establishment in 1 month of this year, August the 8th, August the 14th, and now we at August the 28th, 2021. Okay, y'all write this stuff down when you start making out your complaint, if you plan on doing one. Okay, disorderly conduct. It mentioned disorderly conduct. That's another violation of the Good Neighbors Act. You know, a duty of care. Okay, let's see what went on here. All these violations is at MCADOO bar, bar saloon, whatever you call it, down there on what's that, Main and Franklin. Let's see what this happened. August the 28th, Officer Dunham. He back at the establishment again. This must be his shift. Sitting stationary. He's sitting stationary across the street. Remember Ace Glass company or business right across the street, across from the parking lot. Okay. Oh boy, what this thing is doing? Let me pull that back down a little bit. Okay, where we at? It's a while in the area, I heard multiple people screaming in what I originally believed to be a vehicle attempting to run someone over. Oh man, you got a vehicle is about to run someone over. Once the vehicle moved, I observed it 2 individuals actively engaging in a physical altercation. In the doorway of a vehicle, I entered the parking lot and activated my blue overhead lights. As I entered and I observed it, one of the individuals, later identified as George Washington, running away from the scene. I stopped at Washington and detained him in handcuffs until I could ascertain the situation. I then asked Washington for his information. When he told me his ID was in his pocket, I located his wallet and ID and ran him through the ACIC and began asking Washington about the situation and who he was with. Washington then became verbally aggressive. I informed Washington he was under arrest for public intoxication and disorderly conduct. I placed Washington in the back of my vehicle while officers were still on the scene attempting to gather information from the incident. A female approaching officers asked about Washington. I informed the female that I would be willing to cite Washington into court and release him into her care. When I went back to my patrol vehicle to begin the citation, I attempted, let me find that. I attempted to explain to Washington what was happening. He stated, "This is Black America, and man, F, what you are talking about. MF, I don't give a F about none of that S. I'm a black man." Washington continued to make others racial remarks and derogatory remarks toward myself and the other officers. Washington was cited and released it for court on his court date 9/6/21. Okay, now that was that. Y'all counting with me? That's 3 incidents in 1 month of August. Okay, let's move on through this thing. Okay, let's see what this is. Okay, we're in September now. We had all that action in August. Now we done moved in September. Y'all, we got a lot to unpack. Okay, I'm sorry we're going late, but I gotta just get you all through this here, okay? But that's where we at. Okay. Now there go the date over there in your right-hand corner right there. You see that? We in September now, September the 18th. We only got, I think, 2 more and that's it, okay? We in September the 18th, 2021. Okay, let's see what happened. What kind of disturbance did we have this time? Okay, look like City Ordinance 622. Discharge firearm. Oh man, we got somebody discharging a firearm. Okay, I remember that. That's that when Thompson he did give that report, but he found no reason to really uh, conduct further investigation into the McAdoo incident. He's talked about another black club who got a business where they teach young people how to dance, and I think they do other activities there. He started picking on them as opposed to being concerned about this gunshot. Upon arrival, witnesses stated a black male was causing a disturbance and pulled a gun and shot it off into the air. Witnesses stated the male who shot the gun had already left the scene. Myself and others surveyed the scene and located one single .45 caliber spent casing on the ground in the parking lot near the McAdoo building. The shell casing was retrieved and logged into evidence. Okay, so there you go. You got gunshots being fired. All right, we in September. That's September the 18th. Gunshots being fired. It say the owner reported that the suspect was whatever that person's name. I can't even pronounce it. It say who had recently been shot by a subject last name blah 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 and blah 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 blah. I don't want to call these folks' name. Don't want to get nothing started there. Okay. Now we done moved from November the 18th. It seemed like something goes on every week. A week later, that's September the 18th right there. Okay, here we go. Now, September the 26th. Let me highlight it for you right there. You see that? Your right-hand corner? September the 26th. Okay? September the 26th. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is the one that Councilwoman Brothers was involved in a fight. Remember how the rules stated? The employees of the owner, they cannot be in no kind of disturbance like this here. We had the owner going out there and want to throw some blows. And then at the end, she want to cry. I'm 68 years old. I'm old. They need to be charged with a felony. She contributed to her own injuries, and now she want to use her age to escape being arrested and charged with battery, assault and battery. She admitted that. But these are the young ladies, which you all know. She got into a fight with the William girls, and like I say, I tell you, I don't know what's going on with this case. But anyway, you all know what happened. I had on my show. I'm not going to read all that, but I will show you the part to where I just mentioned it. Just say up on my arrival, he's coming to McAdoo, the owner of a business. McAdoo stated a group of females and a male assaulted her. Ain't that something? When the police show up, she telling the police, although she started it, but she telling the police that they jumped on her. She mentioned females and a male. Okay. Now we're already done. If many of you who saw my show, you saw the young ladies, the William sisters on my show. You heard them speak. If not, you can go back, check my Facebook page, and you can just scroll through until you find that broadcast. Okay, but this is the incident to where she assaulted one of the William sisters, pulled her by her head, where she pulled her wig off. And that led to some physical altercation there in front of the establishment. I do have a video to where you can't really tell who did what. And so The police department supposedly have a video. I don't know what they're looking at, but from video that I have, you can't tell who did what. Okay. But this was an incident that she was involved in as well. So there you have it. That is pretty much um, some of the violations that Mrs. Brothers um, has had at her business. And so now the question is, why haven't this information been sent to the tax collector's office for the tax collector to consider uh, revoking revoking the license of Councilwoman Brothers? Why haven't the police chief held Councilwoman Brothers to the same standard as he have with these other black businesses? I have to call it what it is, black businesses. It's almost like they're being selective in businesses that they target. To my knowledge, the first business to my knowledge was Miss Diane Moss. They made allegations, something that she was doing wrong. Then there was Miss Pamela Smith. After she done did everything right to try to get Chief Thompson to sign her application to sell liquor, and some of the proceeds was to go toward if I understand it correctly, going toward some fundraiser. It was a fundraising that they was supposed to give some of the proceeds to a charity. He wouldn't sign off on that. Although she had nothing that would prevent him from signing the documentations, and if he refused to sign it, he's supposed to state the reasons. But him being Chief Ross Thompson, set in his ways, so many words, he felt like he didn't have to give her a reason. No was no. No was no. And they continue to pick with her a little bit more after that. I don't know where we at now. Hopefully they done bagged up off her. Then right behind that, remember I was telling you they had gunshots at Miss McAdoo place. And around that same time, Chief Thompson, in giving his report, he felt a need to elaborate more on there was an incident that went on. I can't pronounce it. What is it? Diamond Steppers or something like that. Excuse me if I get the name of the group wrong, but this is a group that work with young individuals, teaching them dance skills. I'm told that they are very talented in what they do. And so there he is down there picking with them. And these young people are very into being involved in something that keep them safe, okay? And at the same time, teaching them a skill, talent, to which I'm told that they compete across the country against some of the best. We should be uplifting that type of, volunteer work, okay? To where our young people are excelling and doing something that is considered to be something positive. But Thompson, he wants to come up against it. But he said nothing about those gunshots. He didn't elaborate on that at Miss McAdoo place. And so those two need to be separated. They lock hip to hip. Well, actually it's three. At trial, the three musketeers, Chief Thompson, Barbara, Councilwoman McAdoo, and this tax collector, I forgot her name. But those three is almost as like Miss Brothers going out with her little list, targeting certain businesses, trying to find something, whatever she can, to have them have their business license suspended, revoked, or what have you. And so, but that's all I have. I will say this here in terms of all the violations that Miss Brothers have had. Again, duty of care. She have not been a good neighbor. Okay, she have not been a good neighbor. you know, which again, I mean, like I say, you know, any disorderly conduct or a breach of the peace by patrons or employees on the permitted premises, such as fights, brawls, disturbances, which resulted in bodily injury to any person on the premises. Okay. And she also is violating the Blythe noise nuisance abatement ordinance. She violating that, you know. So again, it brings us back to the question: why aren't the disturbances at McAdoo business, that is, considered a threat to the public health and safety here in Blytheville, Arkansas? There must be some type of remedies that they be given by um, the council, quorum court, county prosecutor, or the ABC office. There need to be some type of investigation into this business who have multiple disturbances at her place of business. Some of the serious ones being gunshots. And there seems to not be anything done to this business in terms of holding them accountable. Something must be done. So I would say that Miss Brothers need to shut up from going around the city, you know, creeping and peeping on trying to find what next business she can start harassing. It's harassment. It's basically what it is, you know. And so she need to concentrate on her business and know that when she continue to sell liquor to people and they leave her place intoxicated, that those disturbances happen inside her place or on her parking lot. Not only is it a violation in terms of bringing some drawback to her, but she is in violation of the Good Neighbors Act. She has a duty to care for the safety and the health of others in her surroundings. Okay? And if any remedy that is put in place, if those remedies seem to be of none effect, then if she's brought back into any kind of hearing, she can be found in contempt, and the fines will continue to go up until eventually, if they feel like the remedies is not working, she continue to be contemptuous in terms of not finding a positive solution to correct the wrong that is going on in her business, then her license should be revoked. Her business should be shut down. Okay. And so that's really all I have, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I miss anything. Because as I say, she can be held liable because they're looking at what is called a person act, cause what is a change of events. Okay. And when that happens, the city council must abate any nuisances, or the city council, or going through the county courts. They must abate any nuisances that continue to take place at this business. All right. So that's really all I have, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you can go back and review this broadcast to look at those violations just in these 2 months. What was it? August and September. Just in those 2 months. Okay. I think she had a total of, what was it? I forget. I lost count. It was, what was it? 5, 6, something like that. Violations in a 2-month period. 2-month period. 5 or 6 violations. And she wants to run around the city, creeping and peeping, taking her little black list over to the tax collector's office and getting with Chief Thompson in the police and fire committee meetings, trying to go out and selectively target these black businesses to have them somewhat license revoked or some other penalty. That's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go over to my board and see if I got any questions. If not, we're going to conclude this broadcast. Okay. Okay, there. We got Miss Williams. Um, how you doing there, Miss Williams? Um, there go my sis. What's going on, sis? Doing all right? Oh yeah. I'm glad you reached out to me. My sister gave me a message today. I just found out that my grandson in Wichita, Kansas, has just gave me my first great grandchild. He have a beautiful, precious little boy that he and his partner has brought into this world. May God bless them both and bless my precious first great grandchild. Okay. Um, what's going on? That's my other little lovely niece, Candace. What's going on there? Hey Tony, this is Mo. Oh, what's up, Mo? Uh, glad you're tuning in, Mo. Candace, make sure she tune in a little bit more. Okay. I love y'all. Um, Mrs. Luster, how you doing? All right. Yes, he did. All right. Look like what else we got here? That's Miss Bogan. How you doing, Miss Bogan? There goes sis again. The defense attorney must have been intimidated by Al Sharpton. Oh yeah, it's anytime people that represent uh, civil rights that's there to do what's right. And the family invited him there. It wasn't like he just popped up. The family invited him to sit with them. So, and this attorney got the audacity to try to name who can show up and how many can show up, and went so far to say we don't need no more black pastors. Al Sharpton is enough. We don't need no more black pastors. Showed his true colors. Okay, on this is the case where the boy fake cry. Yeah, that's the judge who appeared to be prejudiced. That's the one that had the Donald Trump ringtone rally. When he get a phone call, he got the Donald Trump phone ring. Uh, and he claimed that he never knew anything about the Proud Boys until this case. Can you believe that? How are you gonna be a fan of Donald Trump and Donald Trump on world television saying Proud Boys? What is it? Stand back, stand ready, stand back. However the little deal he said. This judge committed perjury. Lied right there, sitting in the bench. Well, let me see who else we got up here. Okay. Oh, sis on fire. She asking quite a few questions. Seem like Mrs. Brothers has favor with blah blah. They lock hip to hip. Her and Chief Thompson. And it's just a shame. Now I will say this here. I don't think the tax collector really want to be in their mess. I really don't think she feel comfortable being caught up in their mess. I mean, I have visited the tax collector's office, and she seemed to be a nice lady. She really do. She seemed to be a nice lady. I'm just guessing that they pulling her into their mess, and I don't think she wants to be in that. But her duty is actually just to prepare a report. Now there could be some cases to where she'd have come into some information or knowledge that someone is not in compliance with certain laws or rules or whatever, and she can make in her report of those non-compliances, and and then it go from there. Code enforcement probably would go and pay a visit, or in some cases they may cite the person to come to court or give them a hearing date. But she don't like the authority. I think she mentioned that she do not want to have the authority of revoking anyone's license. Okay. I don't think the the Arkansas Constitution or state laws even give her the authority to do that. But let Ross Thompson tell you, he always think he's an attorney. Always he need to be protecting and serving, but he spent too much time acting like he's an attorney. And I'll get a video I want to show you of him probably next week or sometime this week before I shut down. Okay. Oh, what's going on, classmate? Tony, they are good for covering up for each other, and you know it. And that's what I call them, those three musketeers. They're working together. And like I say, I don't think the tax collector feel comfortable about being caught up in Councilwoman Brothers and Chief Thompson mess, because they cannot do anything without her. They know that. Brothers cannot do nothing without the tax collector, nor can the chief. And they pulling this woman in their mess. And I don't think she don't feel comfortable being caught up in that. Okay. But you're right. It's selective policing. Like I say, they're giving a pass to this one person I know. I don't know how many others there are, but we do know from what I've been showing you, all these violations with this one business, MCADOO business. Okay, that's just for 2 months. That's all I asked for from June to present. Now, what if I was to went back and say, give me the last 3 years of disturbances or where police officers were dispatched at MCADOO bar business? I'm pretty sure the numbers probably go out the roof. And she runs around here, got the audacity to try to have other people license revoked. She's a mess. Okay, they all need to go. All right, y'all, voting coming up. You have an opportunity to vote these folks out. Now I'm gonna hold y'all to it. Y'all saying they need to go. Like President Obama said, don't boo, go vote. Don't boo, go vote. All right. So we don't say they need to go. Yeah, we can say they need to go, but we also got to go vote. Vote these folks out of office. Okay, that's the best way to get revenge. Vote their behind out of office. Okay. Congratulations. To my grandson, my first great grandson. Thank you, Mrs. Williams. How you doing, Mrs. Bond? Thanks a lot. Yeah, I finally got away from the grandkids, got my first great grandchild. All right. How you doing, Miss CC Clark? Okay, you all, that's it. I'm down at the bottom. How much time I spent? Oh man, I went over. I had a lot to unpack, y'all. I normally don't go over an hour. I had a lot to unpack. Hopefully you all would go back and you would find some time to look through this broadcast when you have the proper time to do so. And please, if you know anyone who might have been treated unfairly while patronizing the business of Councilwoman Brothers, or who might have been a victim, or you might have witnessed an incident, please, if you don't want to make the complaint, at least just inbox me, give me the information if you know of any incident that has occurred other than what I've shown you. Okay, because this woman need to understand that these people who are operating these various businesses, some of them, that is their livelihood. That's how they make a living. And when you have a councilwoman who goes after them in her selective, biased ways, trying to creep and peep to try to find what dirt that she can get on them to try to have them to go out of business, I think that's real harsh. It's very hypocritical considering she got dirty laundry in her closet. And so she have no room to want to throw rocks and hide her hand. And so hopefully Mayor Sanders will hear of this broadcast of mine. He very well may be looking or have someone looking for him. And if they are, we do get them creepers and peoples every now and then. We probably got some creepers and peoples that's watching now, and they are most welcome. I love when my creepers and peoples tune in. because they can go back and they can tell it all. All right. But that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for sitting in with me. And we're going to come back with my last show that's coming up this Sunday. That'll be my last show, my last Sunday show. If I do anything else after that, it'll be like a special broadcast. You know, it'll be probably through the week. I just run it when I get the information to come in. But it's not going to be too many of them because, like I say, the holidays is upon us. Thanksgiving, I love to spend time with family, going through Christmas. January is my birthday. And then hopefully come sometime the last of February or early March, I will kick back up my show. Okay. So until then, I don't see any more comments over here. I want to say, may you all have a very, what's left of it, a very prosperous, and joyful remainder of this day, or shall we say. Just enjoy yourself, okay? And until I see you again next week, will be my last show, okay? Last Sunday show. And then we will kick it up for the incoming year, which will be my 3rd season. Can you believe that? I have been doing this for 2 seasons. So topic will be announced, okay? So until then, peace and love. God bless. Please comment and share. Comment and share this video. God bless and goodbye. Likewise, Mrs. Williams.